right, so get ready, because today we're going to try and wrap our heads around something pretty wild.
Yeah.
PulseZen and how it creates value.
Yeah.
We've got this analyst report that's comparing PulseZen to Apple, which is kind of a head-scratcher, right? I mean,
it is a strange
it's
comparison.
like we all get how Apple makes money.
Yeah.
They've got iPhones and Macs and all this stuff that we buy, but
Right, all these products and services.
PulseZen is like
Yeah.
totally different.
It is. It's in this world of decentralized finance, DeFi.
Right, DeFi.
Where the value proposition is a lot more abstract.
Okay, so less about physical products, more about
Yeah.
like ideas and concepts.
It's about, the potential of this technology.
Right, and this report dives into some of that.
Yeah.
And they use these terms like
Yeah.
pay it forward and
Yeah.
deflationary model, which sound kind of cool,
They do.
but I don't really know what they mean.
Yeah, they can be a little bit jargonese.
So can you kind of break those down for us? What are we even talking about here?
Yeah, so pay it forward, or PIF as it's often called,
Okay.
is essentially a mechanism where just by holding PulseZen tokens, you earn rewards.
Oh, interesting. So they're
So
holding...
instead of like a company paying dividends or something like that?
Yeah, it's a different way of thinking about it.
This is like
It's built into the protocol itself.
built in.
So every time a transaction happens on the network, a small fee is taken, and a portion of that fee is redistributed to all the token holders.
Oh.
So the more active the network is,
Right.
the more transactions there are, the more rewards you potentially earn.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
But then what about this deflationary model thing?
Yeah, so the deflationary model works by basically burning tokens.
Burning.
Yeah, permanently removing them from circulation.
So they just disappear.
They disappear.
Wow.
With every transaction, a small number of tokens are burned.
And the idea is that this creates scarcity.
Right.
And scarcity drives value.
Right.
Yeah.
Like a limited edition
Exactly.
Seeker or something.
The fewer tokens there are, the more valuable the remaining ones could become.
Okay, so built-in scarcity.
Yep.
Interesting.
That's the theory, at least.
But isn't that, I mean,
Right.
that sounds super risky.
It is inherently risky.
What if people just, like, stop using PulseZen?
Yeah, that's the big question mark.
The whole thing could just, like,
Right.
go poof. Right.
Unlike Apple,
Yeah.
Apple has factories and supply chains and products.
Real tangible stuff.
PulseZen's is all digital.
Yeah.
Its value is tied to this belief in the technology
Right.
and the growth of its community.
Okay.
So there's a lot of faith involved.
So we're starting to see how they're trying to build value.
Yeah.
But it's very
Very theoretical.
theoretical.
At this point, yeah.
But so what does this report say about how they're actually doing? Like,
All right.
is there anything in here that suggests that this whole DeFi thing is actually working?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that they look at in the report
Okay.
is this metric called total value locked,
Total value locked.
TVL.
TVL, okay.
And it basically measures how much cryptocurrency
Right.
is locked up in these different DeFi protocols.
So it's like how much money is
Yeah.
actually in the system.
Exactly. It's a measure of how much people are actually putting their money where their mouth is.
Right. Okay.
When it comes to DeFi.
Got it.
And the report shows that the TVL across the entire DeFi space has been exploding,
Really?
which suggests that there's growing confidence
Wow.
in these decentralized systems.
Okay.
Now, PulseZen itself is still relatively small
Mhm.
compared to some of the bigger players in the space,
Right.
but its TVL has also seen significant growth.
Okay. So that's a good sign.
That's a good sign.
People are putting money into it,
Yeah.
but is that enough to justify
Right.
calling this the future of finance?
Well, that's where things get tricky.
Oh.
Because remember those pay it forward rewards we talked about?
Yeah.
Well, the report suggests that those rewards
Right.
are actually attracting a lot of new users.
Interesting.
It's kind of like this self-fulfilling prophecy.
So,
More users mean more transactions,
right.
which leads to more rewards.
More rewards.
What attracts even more users?
It's almost like a network effect.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a social media platform.
Exactly. Like the more people who join,
Yeah.
the more valuable the platform becomes.
That makes sense, but how does that translate into real-world value for PulseZen?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question.
Right.
And the report highlights a few potential avenues.
Okay.
One is that PulseZen could become a major player
Okay.
in decentralized exchanges.
Okay. Decentralized exchanges. What is that?
So think of it like a stock market,
Okay.
but it's run entirely on blockchain technology,
Oh.
cutting out the middlemen.
So instead of going through a bank?
Yeah, you don't need a broker.
Oh, okay.
You could potentially trade cryptocurrencies
Directly on the PulseZen platform.
directly on the platform.
That'd be pretty cool if it
It could be huge.
takes off, if it takes off.
But it seems like
But
very speculative still.
it is highly speculative.
Yeah.
And the report acknowledges that
Yeah.
PulseZen, like many DeFi projects, is operating in a largely unregulated space.
So there's no government oversight.
There's very little oversight
Wow.
at this point.
That's kind of scary.
It can be. It means there's a higher chance of scams,
Oh, okay.
hacks,
Right.
just general uncertainty.
You're telling me there's no safety net
There's not a lot of safety nets.
if things go wrong?
Right. It's
Yeah.
definitely not for the faint of heart.
That does not sound good.
Yeah, the report emphasizes that investing in PulseZen requires a high tolerance for risk.
I mean, it's a very young ecosystem.
Yeah.
There's no guarantee that it will succeed.
But there is potential.
There's massive potential upside.
Okay, so big risk, big reward.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got this potential gold rush,
Yeah.
but you might get lost in the woods.
It's very possible.
And I wish we had a crystal ball
Me too.
to see what's going to happen.
Right. And the report doesn't offer any easy answers.
Right.
But it does point to some key factors that could determine Pulse's success.
Okay, like what?
So one is wider adoption of cryptocurrencies in general.
Okay.
If crypto goes mainstream,
Right.
that would obviously be huge
For everybody.
for any DeFi project, including PulseZen.
So PulseZen's fate is kind of tied
Yeah, it's
to the overall crypto market.
to a large extent, yes.
Okay.
But there's another crucial factor,
What's that?
real-world applications.
Okay.
Right now,
Yeah.
PulseZen is mainly used for speculation
Right.
and earning those pay-it-forward rewards.
Right. Okay.
But for it to truly take off,
Yeah.
it needs to offer tangible benefits.
So it needs to solve real problems.
Exactly.
Like what? Give me an example.
Okay, so imagine using PulseZen to send remittances across borders
Okay.
instantly and for a fraction of the cost of traditional services,
That'd be huge.
or using it to access microloans in developing countries
Oh, great.
where traditional banking is limited,
Interesting.
or even using it to create more transparent
Okay.
and equitable supply chains.
So really like changing the world kind of stuff.
That's the idea.
Wow.
So if PulseZen can successfully develop and implement these kinds of real-world applications,
Okay.
its value proposition would move beyond speculation
Mm-hmm.
into the realm of tangible solutions.
Okay, so it sounds like PulseZen's value is kind of a moving target.
It is.
It's a mix of speculation
Yeah.
and the network effects
Right.
and this promise of real-world applications.
Exactly.
So how do we even
Right.
begin to understand it all?
Well, the report offers a helpful way to frame it. Okay. It suggests looking at PulseZen's value through 3 different lenses.
Okay, I like it.
3 different lenses.
Lay it on me.
So first, there's the speculative value,
Correct.
which is driven by market sentiment.
So
Hype, fear of missing out.
buy low, sell high crowd.
Exactly.
Okay.
This is the most volatile aspect of PulseZen's value.
All right, so what's the second lens?
The second lens is network value,
Okay.
which is tied to the size and activity of the PulseZen's community.
So more people using it
The more people using it,
makes it more
the
valuable.
more valuable it becomes,
Right.
just like any platform or marketplace.
Got it. Okay, what about the third lens?
The third lens is utility value,
Utility, okay.
which is derived from real-world application,
Right.
tangible benefits.
So can it actually deliver
Exactly.
on what it's promising?
Can it actually solve real problems?
Right, yeah.
Offer solutions that people are willing to pay for?
So it's not just about the hype.
No, it's about delivering actual value to users.
That makes sense.
And the report suggests that this third lens,
Okay.
the utility value,
Mm-hmm.
is ultimately what will determine PulseZen's long-term success.
So it sounds like understanding PulseZen's value is a journey,
It is a journey,
not a destination.
not a destination.
It's not about finding a single number.
Yeah.
It's about understanding all these different factors
exactly.
and how they interact.
It's a dynamic process,
Oh, yeah.
and the value is constantly evolving.
So for our listener
Right?
who's been with us this whole time,
Yes.
what's the key takeaway?
Yeah, what's the...
How can they make sense of this?
I think the key takeaway is that you can't just look at the price of PulseZen today.
Right.
You have to understand all these different factors that are driving its value.
So it's more than just like
Yeah.
checking the price on some exchange.
It's about understanding the technology,
Okay.
the community, the potential use cases.
So for our listener
Yeah.
who's maybe thinking about like,
Right.
okay, I want to get into this PulseZen thing.
Yeah.
What advice would you give them?
I would say, first and foremost, understand your own risk tolerance.
Okay.
PulseZen is not for the faint of heart.
Right. This is not
This is not
a retirement fund.
Yeah, this is a high-risk, high-reward investment.
So don't bet the farm.
Don't bet the farm.
Got it.
Start small, do your research.
Okay.
Understand the technology before you invest any significant amount of money.
This is not financial advice.
No, this is not financial.
We're just two people trying to figure this out.
Just exploring.
Along with everyone else.
Exactly.
But let's say our listener is like,
Right.
okay, I'm ready. I understand the risks.
Yeah.
I want to learn more. Where do I go from here?
I would say dive deeper into the PulseZen community itself.
Okay.
Check out their website, read their white paper,
Right.
join their online forums and Telegram groups.
Really get in there.
Get in there, talk to people.
Talk to people. See what's going on.
That's what they're excited about.
Okay, so it's about understanding
Yeah.
the people behind it.
The people, the technology.
The technology, not just the hype.
Exactly.
And I guess like you were saying earlier,
Yeah.
really pay attention to those real-world applications.
Absolutely. Are they solving real problems?
Are they gaining traction?
Because those are the things that are ultimately going to determine PulseZen's long-term value.
So it's like we said,
Yeah.
that utility value is key.
Utility value is key.
If they can actually deliver,
If they can deliver,
that's when things get really interesting.
that's when it could really take off.
Okay, well, I think this has been a super fascinating dive
It has.
into PulseZen.
Yeah, it's a complex topic,
A lot to think about.
but it's a really important one.
And, I think it's just the beginning
I think so too.
of this whole
Yeah.
decentralized finance revolution.
The future of finance is being written right now.
And we're all just trying to figure it out.
We're all figuring it out together.
So to our listeners, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into PulseZen.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
And, stay curious, stay informed.
Stay engaged.
Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Exactly.
Because this world of decentralized finance is complex and it's changing all the time.
It's a wild ride.
But it's full of opportunities.
Absolutely.
So dive in and explore. And who knows, maybe someday we'll all be looking back at this conversation
Yeah,
and marveling at how far we've come.
I think we will.
Thanks again for joining us.
See you next time.